It's now time for part 2 of my top 19 best Disney Channel shows. We left off with the first 9 on the countdown. Now we're down to the final 10. So let's see who we got left. Here we have our American Dragon Jake Long, Even Stevens, Kim Possible, Life with Derek, Lizzie McGuire, Phil the Future, Phineas and Ferb, The Proud Family, Sweet Life on of Zack and Cody, and That's So Raven. Which show will be number 1? Find out. Starting off at number 10 is Phil the Future. I like this show very much. The series was about a family of the future getting stuck in the 21st century where their time machine broke down. Here's the main character, Phil Diffie. He makes up excuses to hide the fact that he's from the future. Next is Keely Teslo, Phil's best friend and eventually girlfriend. She is the only one to know that the Diffies are from the future and has an angelic and bubbly personality. I like that in a girl. And she was hot. Moving on to Pim, Phil's younger sister. She was evil. She was like the real life of Angelica from Rugrats, except much older, and she pulls pranks on people. But sometimes she wears pigtails like Angelica, just like in the picture in this video. Either way, Pim was a badass and likable character. So far, Phil of the Future was a great show. I wish this show would have had at least a few more seasons left, not just 2 seasons with a total of 43 episodes. The last episode was really sad because Phil and his family were going back to the future and and Keely and Phil had their last kiss together before they both agreed to wait for each other in the future. They are the best couple in Disney Channel history, in my opinion. At number 9 is Life with Derek. This show was kind of stupid, but it was still good and interesting in its own way. A show about 2 teenage kids who already hate each other. Their divorced parents get hitched, and the two become step-brother and sister. Awesome! I mean, this show was good. I actually liked this show. And it was cool to see, interesting to see Casey and Derek go head to head, neck to neck. I mean, you can tell by this picture that they absolutely hate each other. They're probably like, oh, great. I already have to deal with him at school. Now that both our parents are remarried, now I have to spend the rest of my life with my new family, with this douche. Yeah, you and me both, princess. Like, I want to spend the rest of my entire life with my new family with a twat like you. Derek! Hey, you started it. You called me a douche. Yeah, something like that. But, yeah, Life with Derek was a pretty good show. And, of course, I had a crush on Casey. I mean, who wouldn't? She was hot. Especially in that one episode where she was dressed up in this Tomb Raider-like outfit. Sweet. Oh, then there's the other likable characters. Lizzie, Casey's younger sister, Edwin, Derek's younger brother, and Marty, Derek's little sister, who was so cute and adorable. Ever since the cancellation of Life with Derek, reruns continue on Disney Channel until January 2nd of 2010. I heard there was a movie called Vacation with Derek. I haven't seen it before, but if it's on YouTube, I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, so those were my thoughts on Life with Derek. Moving on to number 8 is The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. The Sweet on Deck was cool, but Zack and Cody was better, and you can't beat the original. A show about 2 12-year-old twin boys who get into all kinds of trouble and living the life in a hotel. Sweet indeed. The show was cool. Most of the characters were funny in their own way. And I had a crush on Ashley Tisdale and Brenda Song. And still do. But mostly Brenda. And I'm sure a lot of guys did too. I always dreamed of marrying Brenda. But that ain't happening since she's with, quote, Trace Cyrus, unquote. Anyways, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody was awesome. Moving on to number 7 we have is American Dragon Jake Long. A show about a 13-year-old who has a transformation with the amazing power and ability to change into the form of a dragon. Awesome! The show was great, the plots were good, Season 1 animation was good, But why did they change the animation a bit in the second season, especially the way Jake and his family looked? Also, the show ended way too damn early, and hopefully it'll come back in the future after just having 2 seasons with 52 episodes. Oh, and Jake and Rose were also a great couple. Coming in at number 6 is the Even Stevens. Hands down, the best funny family shows of all time. Ren and Lewis are the best brother and sister duo ever and are my 2 favorite characters of the series. Ren is a smart, dependable, intelligent 8th grader who is also a overachiever, and she was smoking hot. Lewis was funny as hell, and he had me dying of laughter. It's funny how it feels like it was just yesterday that Shia LaBeouf was a Disney Channel star. Now he's a popular actor for his roles in the Transformers movies. The show was very funny, entertaining, and had great morals and about family. I wish Disney Channel had more shows like this these days. Heck, most of them don't have morals like they used to. What's a show without any morals? No family show can ever hold a candle to the Even Stevens. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you. Screw you. And now it's time for our final 5. Coming at number 5 is The Proud Family. Hands down, the best family cartoon ever. The show was cool, funny, and the characters were funny and likable in their own way. Especially Oscar. Trudy! Oh, and that one guy who always singing and sounds like he's talking. And the one guy, I think his name was Poppy. The way he laughed, that was funny. Had me rolling. Yeah, so The Proud Family, great show, and it was awesome. Moving on to number 4 is Phineas and Ferb, one of the best cartoons of the modern day. The show has a good humor, characters are great in their own way, animation is great, and it's very watchable. Even most of their songs are good and funny, like Gitchy Gitchy Goo, Living in a Fun House, Baby, and Squirrels in My Pants, etc. Phineas and Ferb is alright with me. And now it's time for the final 3. Ooh, this is good. Kim Possible, Lizzie McGuire, and That's So Raven in the final 3. Oh boy, this should be interesting. Coming in at number 3, Kim Possible. I have to say that this is one of the best action-packed shows on the map. The action was epic, plots were good, the characters were cool. Even Shigo and Draken were cool villains. And Rufus, who doesn't love Rufus? Who doesn't love that lovable naked mole rat? And KP is one underrated crime fighter. And of course, I had a crush on Kim and Shigo in the show. It was even tough at times to choose who was hotter, Kim or Shigo. That's really tough. I mean, Kim, she had the most mysterious, beautiful green eyes, and then she had the long red hair and her great personality. And then there was Shigo. Shigo was just Shigo, but she was still hot and likable in her own way and very funny. And she had beautiful black hair. Again with Kim, just like Kim, you know, they both had pretty green eyes. And I liked her green pale skin. But either way, they were both hot. But bottom line, Kim Possible, number 1. And always will be forever. Hands down, one of the best action-packed shows on Disney Channel. When this show ended in 2007, Disney Channel was definitely dead when Kim Possible, along with That's So Raven, both ended in the same year. It just didn't feel like it was the same. I think Kim Possible should have ran for a couple more seasons. It would have been cool to see Kim and Ron, you know, go to college and stuff like that. It would have been cool and see where Shigo and Draken's relationship goes. Anyways, moving on to the final 2. Lizzie McGuire versus That's So Raven. Oh, crap. Who's going to be number 1? Who is going to be number 1? Okay, at number 2, here we have is Lizzie McGuire. Lizzie McGuire, definitely one of the best ever shows to exist on Disney Channel. This was like the Clarissa Explains It All of the 2000s. A show about a teenager that all she wants to do is become popular and fit in. Lizzie McGuire, hands down, was a great show. Her friends were likable. Miranda and Gordo. Oh, then there was her brother Matt. He was funny and just a bad kid. But yeah, Lizzie McGuire was definitely a great show. And I don't know why some people always compare this show to Hannah Montana. Really? Really? You want to compare a legendary classic show like Lizzie McGuire with a stupid hillbilly show called Hannah Montana? Really? That's like comparing That's So Raven to Ant Farm or Life with Derek with Good Luck Charlie. I mean, really? Really? I mean, sure, Lizzie would complain at times, but she was more tolerable. Miley, on the other hand, on Hannah Montana, she whined about every damn thing that wasn't even funny. Oh, being a rock star is hard, and going to school is hard and stuff. It's like, hey, would you make up your mind? Quit your damn complaining and just choose one and stick with it. You can't have both. Plus, Hilary Duff is a way better role model than Miley Cyrus. Who the hell wants to have a role model that just smoke bongs and shows pictures of herself in swimsuits? Yeah, while she was on Disney Channel and had Hannah Montana. Yeah, way to go. Hilary Duff is a way better role model than Miley Cyrus, and definitely that kids should look up to these days. Yeah, but like I said, Lizzie McGuire, really great show. And, you know, it had morals and things that were important, unlike Hannah Montana. Plus, of course, I had a crush on Hilary Duff, and I still do. I know a lot of guys that had a crush on Lizzie. So, yeah, Lizzie McGuire, number 2. And now, the number 1 best Disney Channel show, in my opinion, no one other than That's So Raven. It was a tough one between Lizzie and Raven. It was really tough because both these shows were great. But I had to go with That's So Raven. That show was my number 1 show since the first day watching it. I had to go with That's So Raven. I mean, a show about a typical teenager who has psychic powers and can predict the future on what's going to happen. Hands down epic. I love this show to death. The characters were funny and likable in their own ways. The plots were pretty good, and the show is just a very watchable and enjoyment to Disney Channel. I think the show really put Disney Channel on the map. That's So Raven rocks. Number 1. That's So Raven forever. Forever. Did you hear me? One more time. Forever. Yeah, so That's So Raven. Great show. I was really disappointed that it ended in 2007. Like I said, along with Kim Possible, Disney Channel definitely died when these shows ended. But That's So Raven, like I said, it'll always be remembered as one of the best. And of course, you know, I had a crush on Raven, of course, and Chelsea. Hey, they were cute. Anyways, this has been my top 19 best Disney Channel shows of all time. I hope you enjoyed my list. And I'm sure probably some people you are asking, hey, where's Boys Meets World or Smart Guy or Sister Sister? Listen, the reason why they're not on this countdown is because they weren't Disney Channel originals. Those shows were on other channels, like on the WB20. And I think Boys Meets World was on ABC, if I'm correct. But yeah, They were just shown on Disney Channel for reruns. But either way, those 3 shows are great as well. Anyways, this has been my top 19. If you have a top 19 best Disney Channel shows, you can comment at the bottom and tell me what are yours. Okay, that's it. Peace and Happy New Year 2012.